wastewater steam that's coming up here. So basically we'll put our basket of food in there, 2.5 hours, come back and our food is cooked. Bon appetit. Okay. You can leave your food in these for much, much longer than 2.5 hours. You can leave your head, like for instance, I'll come here with my grandchildren. We'll put our basket of food in here, go away to the beach for the day, or up into the forest and have some have some fun, come back here 12 hours later, and our food is still delicious, not burnt, and good to eat. The only difference is the meat becomes more tender and it starts to fall off the bone. Very similar to a slow cooker, and there's nothing wrong with that. So in here, we cook mainly our proteins, our meats, and our carbohydrates. So our carbohydrates might be potatoes, kumara or sweet potato, pumpkin. That's what we'll cook in here, and our stuffings. So yeah. Personally, you can actually cook your vegetables in there, but personally I like to cook my vegetables in this pool here because I can keep an eye on, if you put your vegetables there, they can become a little bit, what's the word?
Soggy.
That's the word. Yeah, a little bit soggy and mushy. So I like my vegetables to be a little bit al dente. I don't even know if that's the proper word for it.
Yeah, it is al dente.
Yeah, but half cooked and half not cooked. So this is, like I say, meat and carbohydrates here. Let me show you where we cook our proteins in this pool because the fats in the meats ruin the pool, as well as we bathe in the same water. Not here, but 25. We actually channel the water 25 metres down to our baths. And we don't want to go home smelling like a roast lamb. It's all good going home smelling like a piece of broccoli, but not a roast lamb. So yeah, very, very, very beautiful. And it's a very subtle taste. It doesn't add much taste to the vegetables at all. If anything, it's just a slight salty taste. But I'll let you be the judge of that. We actually got some corn cooking for you here right now. So on the surface of this pool, I understand it's 97 degrees on the very surface of this pool. That's centigrade or Celsius. You go down this deep here, it goes up to 120 degrees. So it comes down that terrace you see there, a big part down that channel, into these two terraces on the side here where it's allowed a bit of time to cool down. And then we run it straight into our bars. It's around about 70 degrees by the time it gets to there. So it's still pretty warm.
70?
Around about 70 degrees Celsius.
Okay. Wow.
But that does change with the amount of rain we get. So it's a little bit cooler than what it would be in summer. But one of the beautiful minerals that comes from that big pool is silica. So, which is very similar to what the water types were like at the pink and white terraces. So if you feel this water, what I want you to notice is how the silky feeling on your skin. That's silica. It's like having silk. It's like having silk on your skin. Very similar to being lathered. So when you're in these pools, it feels like you've got soap all over your body. It's beautiful. It's very good for healing. In particular, ailments like arthritis, muscular pain. These bars are perfect for you. The hotter the bath, the better the healing process is. And it's very, very pleasurable. So I was down here in a bath at 4 o'clock this morning. So,
4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock. I came down here, one of my grandchildren couldn't sleep. And she's with me at the moment. So I thought, oh well, I know what puts her to sleep. These bars. So we came down here and she had a bath and we went home and she's still asleep now. So very, very good for you. Very, very pleasurable. And great way to start the day, even better way to end the day. So we don't bathe here between the hours of 8:30 and 5 p.m. for one main reason. We bathe here as one tribe, as one family, both genders, no clothing. So very, very natural, and I'm very proud of that. So I could come down here one day and there'd be one family over here, or two families, a couple over there, another couple, me in here because this is my favourite bath, and another couple of families here. And it's a great time to we feel comfortable in each other's presence and to share family news or stories, or gossip, in other words. Well, let me explain to you about my studies. this here is my ancestral home. So when we started our tour, I told you the name of our village, Wahio. That last 6 letters, Wahio, is the name of the chief from this area. This house here we built in his honour, as well as in his shape. So at the top of the house you can see his face, and as the carvings cascade down, those represent his arms. On the very side of the house are his legs.
Right.
Through the middle of the house is his spine or his backbone up on the roof. And then the rafters that come down from the roof, they represent his ribs. And this house here, because in my beg your pardon, my culture, we do not have a written language. So we would write all our stories in carvings. So basically this is a book with walls and a roof that tell the story of that great chief Wahio. Okay. So pre-European, we would use this house for birthing our babies. I'm sorry I can't take you any closer at the moment because what's happening in there. Yeah, we use it for birthing our babies, for any weddings or unions would take place in this house, as well as our funerals. So when I die, I'll come here, I'll lay here for 4 days. That will allow my family to come from afar to pay their respects to me and to comfort those I leave behind. So with the arrival of the European, we adopted a few of their traditions. So you can see the flagpole there. Whenever we have a funeral here, we raise the flag half-mast. That's a European tradition. Also with the arrival of the European came religion. In particular, the Anglican Church and the Catholic Church, and we have both here. Down the bottom of our village we have our Anglican Church, and then up the top here we have a Catholic Church. So when a religion arrived here in our village, our chief gathered us in front of this house and said, if you live up here, you're Catholic. If you live down there, you're Anglican. So, yeah. But I'm sorry I can't take you any closer to the house, it's private.
What does the house call?
Wahio, after that chief. And we learned how to manipulate or take the waxy part of the plant off, which exposes these beautiful fibers. And these fibers are known as moka. Okay, and we would use these fibers to create all our clothing, right, pre-European. Also, we used to make rope from these fibers and travel around the Pacific as well as around Australia, and we would trade that rope. It was one part of our trade. We also trade other things, but this rope. And it was in high demand. It was like gold back in those days, as you can understand. So this is New Zealand flax or harakeke. Okay? Very, very special plant to my people. Let me show you a garment that's been made from it. These two, this represents one leaf. Okay, that's one leaf. So hand that around. What I wanted you to see is how strong this rope is and how beautiful and soft it is. But hand that around, have a bit of a feel. Pass that around. Okay. And those particular strands are being prepared for a skirt like this. Okay? So this is just for performing arts. This is just for cultural performances. This is not for day-to-day wear. And this name of this particular garment is called a pew-pew. Real easy to remember, it's like pew-pew. So it's called a pew-pew. And you can see, like I showed you here, we've taken the waxy part of the plant of there, and that exposes the beautiful muka. The beautiful muka. It's just so beautiful. And over here, the reason why we expose them is so that we can dip them in our dyes, and then the dyes will take. So the dyes we use are a swamp vegetation that we get from the swamp down deep, and we dye that. We call that paru. Okay. And not only is this a garment for wearing, but it's also an instrument. Let me demonstrate. So we wear it on our hips, and as we perform, okay, we swing our hips, and it's like a beating drum. See? And it's good because it tells you who in your group's out of time. Okay. And this one here is made for an average size waist. Okay. About 150 to 200 strands or leaves to be able to create this pew-pew.
How long does it take to make?
Well, they take about 6 weeks from start to finish. Anywhere else, it's about 8 weeks. Anywhere else, in New Zealand, is 8 weeks. And the reason why is we can dip them in the hot pools, and they start to curl a lot quicker. Yeah, it starts to curl a lot quicker. So we sort of beat the time period by about 2 weeks just from being in the village.
In the back, I can see somebody playing using the lead.
So not a lot of humidity. Come on. But while we're here, I'll show you this plant here. Does anybody here know what this plant is? Come on up and have a try. Just grab a little bit off like this. And you can sort of grab it and then just pull it like that, get a little bit of green in your fingers and then rub it between your fingers. Just have a snap, yeah. So this plant here. Does anybody know what plant this is?
We talked about it. I remember.
So this is a tea tree.
Oh,
This is a tea tree. And in particular, this here is the manuka tree. Has anybody here tried manuka honey before?
yes.
Yeah.
So this is the manuka tree. This is where the bees go to create their deliciousness. So it's a very special tree that we also is a native to Australia. Here's a funny story. We went to court with Australia to see who owns the rights to this plant. How stupid
won?
is that? Australia. Australia won the rights to the plant. It's been around Australia forever. And the Australian Aboriginals, as well as my people, have been using this plant as a medicine for many, many years. It's very good as an antiseptic. In particular, if you've got a bite, like a ant bite or a mosquito bite, if you get a little bit of that,
Back of my leg.
or you get something that's and then rub that into the bite, it helps. Oh, I love that smell. It helps with the to heal. Also in the honey form, very good for open wounds. Okay, so if you've got an open wound that's not healing, try a bit of manuka honey, rub that into the wound, and it will help the healing process. Also very good if you've got a family member that's bedridden and they start getting bed sores. Try getting a bit of their manuka honey and see if that helps heal their sores. If you've got pets that have got wounds, the manuka honey is pet friendly as well, very good for your pets as well. That's it. That's politics
Yep.
and putia. So putia in Māori means money.
Oh, yeah.
So unfortunately, we didn't allow them to come through the village anymore. But up there is our School of Arts. So if you know anything about carving, weaving, you'll go there. You sort of see a little bit of activity happening there. I'm sorry, the steam's.
I'm falling.
Oh,
There you go.
oh, we timed it perfectly. So the one to the right, that's Te Tohu. Translated, that means the indicator. And then just to the left of it is Pohutu. The Pohutu is the main geyser in this valley. Pohutu can go up to 30 meters in the air. You see Pohutu starting to start there. And we'll get to that.
Very good timing.
of our guidance. Right, thank you for coming, especially on not such a good day.
Thank you.
Paunami, ki te aroa, o te atua, e te whiwhi ngātai tanga ki te wairua tuku, e ngā whāhipari, e ngā tau, e ngā whā, e ngā reo, te hei mauru. There you go. Now, the secret for the stone is for you, before you give them to the people that these belong to, for you to wear the stone. Okay, so you'll put it on you before you give it to them. So, and get the stone so it has your body heat. And then when you pass the stone on to them, it goes to them with your heat, your aroha, your love. Okay, so the stone will be warm when you pass it to them. You understand?
Yes.
So put it on, if you're going to see them in the afternoon, put it on in the morning. And then when you see the person you're going to give the stone to, pass it to them and tell them that it comes with your warmth and your love. Okay, so it's warm from your body. Kapai?
Yes.
And then you pass them over.
Thank you very much.
And they're very special.
Thank you.
And I'll give you a hongi. So you
Ooh,
touch my
yes.
nose with your nose.
Thank you very much. Oh my goodness.
Okay. So the hongi, the touching of our noses, is the sharing of the same breath. So now we connected not only physically, but spiritually. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.